So good evening, everybody. This is going to be fun this evening, isn't it?
No.
I'm really looking forward to it. We've already had lots of technical issues trying to do digital planning versus paper planning. So for those of you who don't know us, we should probably do a little intro, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
My name is Sarah Windrum. I run a IT company called the Emerald Group, and we are based in Leamington. We are here in our lovely boardroom, and we're here with Cardboard Sarah. We'll introduce her in a minute. But yeah, so we deal with all things IT for predominantly for small to medium sized businesses. So that's Emerald. Over to my co-partner for this evening, my co-pilot.
I'm feeling
Stacey.
very privileged to be on your Emerald Facebook page, actually.
No problem. We've got Anita here. Hi, Anita. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Anita. At least somebody wants to listen to us then. There are a few people going live now, actually. So I'm Stacey Calder. I am... what am I? I run the Business Success Network and magazine. I do a lot of coaching and a lot of planning, which I think is why Sarah's asked me to join her for this.
She is the queen of planning. That's what I believe. The queen of planning.
You've set this up as a bit of a battle.
The bar
really,
is quite high. Yeah.
I'm slightly concerned, and we also have Gary Jones's bar as well to kind of try and hit.
Yes.
So get sharing and get liking and comment and.
Exactly. So Gary and I did the Facebook Live last month, and I think we had like 1,200 views in total. So yeah, there's a competition going on. Stacey is very keen to make sure that she hits that. So get liking, get sharing,
throwing that accountability out there. Yeah. But if you're really interested in planning, I think this is a really good place to start.
This is the one to come to. Definitely.
It's not really a battle, is it? We're not gonna fight it out. Sarah might. It might get a bit like that. But I think the key message is whatever way you do it, whether it's planning, whether it's digital or paper, it's just do it.
The importance of doing it, absolutely, no, definitely. And what we want to share with you this evening is what we both do on a Sunday night normally. I think I'm a Sunday or a Sunday, to plan our week. Oh, Charlotte says hi. Hi, Charlotte.
She found us. She was just on Twitter asking me where we were.
Oh, fab. And Charlotte's a coaching client of yours, I think. Yeah. So fantastic. She's here to pick up all your tips about planning. Whether she uses paper or digital.
Bit of both, actually. I tweeted it earlier and she responded.
Bit of both.
It'd be interesting to see what Anita does.
Yes, my guess is Anita used to run an IT training company, so my guess is Anita's a digital girl.
Yeah.
So
Is she a stationery addict?
I don't know. We'll see, maybe. Yeah, see, I don't get this paper stationery, loving those things. I don't get that. I'm digital all the way. So sorry, we should explain as well why we've got Superhero behind me. For those of you who don't know, I published a book. Yay!
In digital and on paper.
In digital and paper. Hard copy and digital copy. And so the book is called The Superhero I Was Born to Be. I will put the link in the comments because I am desperate for sales of any kind. You don't make a lot of money in publishing, I've discovered. It's better to stick to IT.
And you have a coach that keeps asking you about
accountability. Keeps asking me how many books I've sold. Yeah, exactly. But this cardboard cutout was kindly designed for me by Ella Hendy, who illustrated the book.
I'm in the way, look.
No, I think you're not. Come back. There we go. We're just working out our strategic positions. There we go. We've got it. She was designed for me by Ella and Anita. Sorry, love digital and love stationery. So she's somewhere between the two of us.
Yeah.
Amazing, huh? I think there might be a few people like that. I'm just weird. I don't have this love of the planner.
I remember the first couple of months I was coaching you, and I sent you a link to a really amazing business planner that was going to sort your life out, and you just literally went, nah.
No, I don't even have a diary. I don't have a diary at all. Everything is done. Hence why we've got the screen on. Everything is done with my calendar. But we'll get to that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with Queen of Planning, because she is. She's taught me a lot about planning. Whether I do it on paper or digital is irrelevant. She's taught me lots about planning. So we're going to start with you and what you do on a Sunday night to plan your week.
Brilliant.
Yeah, what you do on a Sunday night to plan your week. Don't tell us anything else.
No, there is nothing else to tell about Sunday night, actually. My husband will even admit, if he is watching, that he pretty much has a Sunday night to himself because that is my planning time. And he knows it, and the kids kind of know it. And it's great because if you can get everyone on board, then it just makes life a bit easier. So my kids now have this mantra that when they get an invitation or something like that, they will hand it me, they will pass me my diary, because they know if it's not in Mummy's diary, it's not happening.
It doesn't happen.
So definitely. Whether they put it on the fridge or whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's not in Mummy's diary, it's not happening. So Sunday nights then, and it doesn't have to be a Sunday night. It
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It could be a Friday night if you want to have a clear weekend. You know, it could be a Monday morning. Whatever works.
It's quite interesting that we both do Sunday night though.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because were you doing it before I started coaching you, or
I think you possibly suggested Sunday, but it fits really well. I used to always look at what was coming ahead. I just didn't necessarily plan it that well. So I do think actually the Sunday night thing certainly works. It fits with my natural workflow. So
absolutely, it'd be really interesting to see for those of you that are watching live and on, you know, if you're watching it on repeat. When you guys plan as well, actually, because it would just be interesting to see. So Sunday evenings, and I say evenings because Sundays are my family time. So it is very much an evening, maybe around sort of 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Kids go to bed, younger ones, and then they get time to plan. So what I do is I pull out my diary, I look at what's scheduled in the diary, and I'll show you mine in a minute, and you'll be amazed at how many highlighters I can use.
Oh, Anita says quietest time of the week, Sunday. Yeah, and I think that helps probably with your thinking as well, doesn't it? Because it is a quiet time.
It's time to kind of reflect and look, and that's exactly what I do actually, Anita, is I look at my diary, I think, okay, I've got meetings in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. Actually, this is my to-do list or my tasks that I need to do, whether that's from home office or, you know, wherever it is. And that's when I look at where I can fit my pockets of activity, if you like. So I am a bit of a stationery and paper person. If there's anyone from my Usborne business watching this, they will laugh because they see this on a Sunday night now. Because what has developed with me banging on about this so much actually is other people have started to say, wow, can you run a planning session? So I actually do an hour's planning session now on a Sunday evening where other people start sharing their diaries and having a look and just getting some top tips really. So
yeah, you've got to see this. This is an amazing looking diary in terms of the colour.
So this is my diary, and I've just pulled a random page out, and actually what you'll see from that is my meetings are scheduled in, and also my family time is scheduled in, because one of my flaws, and this is the good thing about planning, is it's not just about being an amazing planner. You kind of learn your, like we were just talking about earlier, you learn your strengths and you actually learn your weaknesses as well. And my weakness with my diary was me wanting to fit everybody in when they wanted to fit in. And actually what I was doing was booking stuff into my family time. So you will see there that every day on a Monday to Friday, between 3 and 6, that is my family time. It's the school run, and it's when I pick my kids up. There is stuff going on after that, and there is stuff going on before it. And it's colour-coded as to what that is. So what business it is, whether it's a coaching client, that sort of thing. And that's what I do. I fit those times in because I like to plan. So I have social media clients, as you know.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that I know when those tweets are getting scheduled, those Facebook posts are getting scheduled. I need to know when I'm seeing clients. So, you know, your bread and butter appointments, if you like, are in there.
Yeah.
And then on a Sunday evening, that's when I will add, actually, I've got a slot on a Tuesday morning. I'm going to do a call then. I'm going to do some follow-ups here. So that is my diary. If you want to go, that was my old diary. It actually ran out, and this is how much of a nightmare I am.
She loves stationery.
I bought a diary.
Dave's here. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. So I bought a diary this time last year. Got so excited about it. Didn't wait till the new year because it was undated. Realised I've ordered my one for 2018. It doesn't start till January. I cannot possibly go without a diary
for that length of time.
For the month. And then Louise Crane, if she's watching, started talking about bullet journaling. Now, if you're a stationery addict, you've got to have a look at this. I have lost my life to it. Because what it means I've done is I've just created my own diary.
There you go. Exactly. Anita, for your lover of stationery, create your own diary.
But it is.
Dave's just put, she's behind you. She is indeed, Dave. She is indeed.
Can't get rid of a diary.
Superhero Sarah gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Or Cardboard Sarah,
so,
as she's affectionately known.
But my reason for showing you both sorts of diaries is you will have people that are completely addicted to stationery and will... This is just a notebook. This is just a gridded notebook, and it's what you do with it. And what the good thing about bullet journaling is there's no limit to, you know, if you've got a massive to-do list, you can write that massive to-do list. If you need a page planner, you're looking at it like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is a whole world of
Bullet journaling.
Bullet journaling.
Blame Louise Crane.
I did not know existed.
She laughs now because I lost like a whole afternoon doing this stuff. But really, it doesn't matter what paper you're writing on. It doesn't matter what diary you use. You know, this diary has brilliant things for monthly reflections and stuff like that.
So I have to say, like, looking at Stacey's diary, to me, paper is not an efficient way of doing things. Like she said, she lost a whole afternoon, like, messing around with it. I like to, like,
That's just the addiction to stationery.
Exactly,
that is not paper diary planning.
Like, I just like to get stuff done. I don't have a stationery addiction.
Read Charlotte's.
I spent £50 in paper chase in prep for me. Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah, you and Stacey will get on like a house on fire with if you've got your station. I just don't get it. But what I do really like about looking at Stacey's diary is she's got little motivational messages, like the diary is telling her, you got this. Or are these stickers? Have you stuck them in? She stuck them in. Dave Sharp loves the paper diary. I think I'm on my own here.
So Dave takes us even one step further. So me and Dave work, I've just bought the Business Success magazine from him. He's stayed on as a bit of a consultant. There are stuff we need to share and look at. I set up a Google. See, I'm not just paper. No. I set up a Google Doc.
She's giving you her digital credentials.
That'll come. You'll realise. So I set up a Google Doc. I shared it with Dave. Dave was like, oh my God, I'm not even opening this. This is what I do. And he pulls out an A4 notebook with columns, which is basically an old-fashioned Google Doc. Sorry, Dave, I'm not calling you old-fashioned. But he's got it so organised. Yeah. And it is that, paper and digital can complement each other.
No, definitely.
It can complement each other really
I accept that. And I think, as you said, most people are a mix of paper and a mix of digital. And I'm just...
And digital. I have people, you were saying about my stickers, and actually if you look, there is a sticker that says, you've got this, and it was because I was going to a networking event full of women, and it was like quite, important women that I wanted to speak to.
So you've done that, you've stuck those on. So I do like that. Sorry, just to go back to that, but Stacey's got one on in her diary on the Friday. She's got a sticker that says, you've got this. And so, that idea that you can...
And a hooray for the weekend.
And hooray for the weekend. Birthday. But that idea of using your paper diary to give yourself those motivational messages, I do think is nice, actually.
Yeah, things like, the future depends on what you do today.
Yeah.
On a Monday morning, when you maybe are not feeling as motivated.
And I guess you've got more stuff in one place. Anita's talking about Trello for work and paper for personal. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about Trello in a little bit as well, because I love Trello and use it for both, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good tool.
But if we're looking, just going back to the stickers and things, I think you spend so much time...
You remind me of my daughter. She loves her stickers.
Does she?
Yeah.
Well, I started this bullet journal, and Louise will tell you, she got me all into this. I started Pinteresting stuff, and oh my God, there is like people out there that are, they're amazing at this thing. They're so creative. And I like to think I'm creative, and then I realise actually I'm not. So I cheat and I go online and I buy the stickers rather than drawing it, because, like you just said, you can't lose time. So look at these pretty things.
Do you know what? That's the first time I'm learning here on this Facebook Live. That's the first time I've really thought about planning as a creative exercise. So actually what you're saying, these amazing stickers, what you're saying is that it's not winter is magic. That's lovely. But it's not time wasted, is it? Actually, it's doing a very efficient task, which is planning your week.
And it's motivating.
And being creative at the same time. So that's quite nice, actually.
It is. Yeah. And there are people. I'm supporting small businesses by buying these.
Yes.
There are lots of Etsy businesses out there that are...
I'm still not going to buy a bullet journal, but I can kind of understand it a little bit more.
But for those stationery addicts and for those people that look at their diary and go, oh my God, look at my week ahead, you're either doing the wrong thing because your week is depressing you. But like you say, the stickers, and you can add your kind of theme to it. You can, like you say, just be very creative. And I kind of go to bed on a Sunday night going, do you know what? On a Monday morning, I've stuck my nice sticker there.
Yeah.
And it's colour-coded, and I can see when I've got family time. And actually, if I work really hard, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I may have given myself Friday off, or it's someone's birthday. And, it's all in there.
It's good. I'm impressed.
I am
impressed. No, I am. Because I just see these big books and I think, really? Are we not all in the digital age? But actually, what you've explained, I like the motivational messages. I like the creativity that you can bring to it. I like the colour, and I do. And there's something in that, isn't it? When it's therapeutic in a way.
I have two businesses, so to speak. One is an Usborne Books business, and the other is my networking magazine, and actually by colour coding them different colours, you can see how much time you're spending on each. And actually then if one's bringing in maybe more than the other, or you can see actually that's because I'm spending more time on that than that, and it's at a glance. But you're going to tell me you can do all that with tech anyway, aren't you?
Well, I don't think you get the creativity. I have to say, I think that's the bit that you will probably miss. Or well, maybe not. Let's see. Shall we see what I do on a Sunday night? So we've got the reason. Oh no, here we go. The reason we're not at our lovely glamorous boardroom wall is so that you can see the screen behind me, because this is my laptop, so it's got my stuff on it. What's Dave saying?
I have Dave. Don't run so fast. Let me come down.
Every diary dating back to 1982,
which was the year I was born. So I can tell him exactly how many diaries he's kept.
Oh, so question for Sarah: how do you remember what you were doing when you were 19 if you don't have hard copy diaries?
I love this.
So that's really interesting. I have written a diary. I now write a blog, but I do have that. It's not a planner, but it is a diary of thoughts and poems and feelings. So while I won't necessarily remember exactly what I was doing...
That's a really interesting thing,
I will remember how I felt on that day.
I've kept a diary since I was 13, and I remember a very strange conversation with my mum at about 18 when she said to me, you should publish them, they'd be bestsellers. And A, scary thought, your mum had read your diaries, and B, the thought of them going public, I was like, no. So yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I've actually kept my diaries, my planners, along with my accounts now that I'm, but I've kept a diary as well. So,
but it's interesting there, isn't it?
Do you keep a digital diary, or is it?
So I write a blog. My thing is thoughts and feelings, I guess.
But do they go in a paper?
I have a paper diary.
She has a paper diary.
Well, notebook then. It's not a diary, so I don't write it.
Notebook.
Yeah.
Bullet journaling.
Diary. Okay. I've got a paper diary.
I win.
I don't write it every day. I have one for Kiva that I wrote when I was on maternity leave with her. That was basically all the things I noticed about her. So it might not have been planning what I did, but it's certainly like, Kiva, you made me smile because you did this as a baby or whatever. So I like the fact that I have that to give to her. But I guess that's different. I guess I separate it. A bit like Anita. Anita was saying that actually. Personal, I write my thoughts and my feelings, sometimes in paper, sometimes on my blog. But then I do my planning, my work is very digital. So yeah, I guess I'm a bit like Anita in that respect, that my writing is personal. But my writing is terrible. I mean, my 5-year-old points out how bad my handwriting is, so maybe that's the other thing as well. But like, no one will be able to read my diaries in 20 years' time or 30 years' time.
Maybe that's the second book.
Yeah, maybe. No, it's really not.
So what does Charlotte say?
No one needs teenage angst.
I colour-code my digital diary and link my notebook and folder to the diary so it all matches. See?
Good thinking. And I do like that colour coding because, like you said, I think it makes you think about, how you're structuring your time and your day, particularly if you've got a lot of different things going on, and what we talked about with your personal time. So I think, mine will probably show you a few where I fall down with some of those things. So this is, I don't know how well you can see this, so apologies, but this is my week behind you. This is my week this week. And what happens? So on a Sunday night, I get my week and I go through what I've got coming up. And I have a lot of kind of getting from place to place, and a lot of my issue is sometimes my time management of, if I book a meeting at 10 in Coventry and that meeting will last an hour, I can't then be in Birmingham at 11 o'clock. And I sometimes forget that. I forget I can't teleport myself. So yeah,
schedule
that's exactly. So what I do is I go through this and then I work out how long it takes me to get from where to where. So I've got a rough idea, to be fair. I'm better than I was, but I will go through and go, okay, I've got to get to a meeting in Birmingham at 10. What train am I going to get? And I will actually put that in my diary about, these are the train options. So I normally give myself a couple just in case you end up a little bit later than you've planned. But I'm quite kind of rigid on these are the trains that I'm going to get, or this is when I'm going to leave. So it's kind of very clear about what I'm doing and when. So so that's part of what I do. The other part of what I do is, so once I've kind of planned my or I've looked at my calendar and I've planned in a bit like what Stacey was saying. These are the appointments that I've set. So how am I going to get from one to the other? What do I need to take with me? So again, I make a note of take this, take this, take this. You know, these are the things that you need to make sure that you've got. And then I might need to do prep. So for example, if I've got a big meeting, which I did have on Monday, and sorry, I do this 2 weeks in advance. So I always look, I look 2 weeks in advance and plan the 2 weeks so that it's kind of, I'm always a week ahead of myself, if that makes sense. And then I do a refresher for the current week. So if I've got a big meeting, which I had this week, there is prep work that I need to do for that. So I'm making sure that I'm scheduling that in as well, so I'm all ready to go. And just things like if you've got to do a presentation, I needed my laptop, I needed my iPad, I needed the cables that went with both of those so that I could use the monitor. It's all those sorts of things that I'm likely to forget. So I just make sure they're in my diary. And then that flags up on my phone. So one of the things I really like about digital is that it's not all in one place. So I have it on my laptop, I have it on my iPad, and I have it on my phone. So those three things sync with each other, which means that whichever kind of device I'm using, I've always got the details that I need. So I think that's part of, I guess you would have to write that. If you were using paper, you'd have to write that in several places, whereas it's all in one.
Yeah,
I only write it once.
Just put your diary in your handbag, you don't need to.
But it won't give me reminders. See, mine will give me reminders to say you need to leave now. You need to take your laptop and your cable and your my mind is that I'm not a detail orientated person, so I need those reminders. So maybe that's it. Maybe you're better at remembering.
I'm not sure. Maybe I
take yourself and I need
either
to.
that or I never remember them. Yeah. What was I supposed to bring today?
Yeah, she brought everything.
I did.
It's fine. And so as I say, I work 2 weeks in advance, and then I'll give myself a refresher in the week ahead.
So with those 2 weeks in advance, then do you do kind of a start of the month overview of your month? Do you do like an end of month? Oh, this is what I still need to do. This is what I've done. This
Yes.
Well, I can tick off.
Yes, exactly. So once I've got a sort of, I think you did a session once where you talked about the stones, the big things that you can't move. So these are the big things that I can't move that I need to they're customer meetings. I need to honour these. These are the things. And then what goes in is the tasks. So the things around those. So like I said, if I've got to do a bit of prep work, or if I've got to make a couple of calls, because those are the things, and I think you made this point as well, that you can move around and you can go, okay, when is the best time to be doing some of this stuff? I think it's important when you're planning as well to be aware of what your natural productivity points are.
I was just about to say that, actually.
I am super productive in the morning. Like, you get me in the morning, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Come about 3 o'clock, not so productive. So, and that's where you block out your family time, isn't it? Yeah. And that's the same with me. I go and get my daughter from school, and I have that, we have tea, we might watch a film, we have a little play, we do our homework, and it's that kind of bit of having that time where I am not work productive. Yeah. I can be
family productive.
I can be mum. I don't put that in my calendar though, because I guess I know I'm doing it. So I have my pickups, so you won't be able to see them, but I have it where it says K pickup. So I remind myself that I need to collect my daughter. I honestly, take your laptop charger, collect your daughter. Like, you're getting a theme here. I need to plan all this stuff. But yeah, so I remember I need to take my daughter. I mean, pick her up.
Take your daughter.
Take her, pick her up. Do all those things. I forgot what I was saying now. Yes, so I have all those things planned in. And then what I do, so then after I've got my week sorted, is I put the tasks in around those things. And then, this is almost like my to-do list. When they're done, I delete them. So going back to what Dave said, I won't know what I was doing on Tuesday the 5th of December. I don't delete the appointments because it's important for me. Sometimes with expenses and stuff like that, I need to remember where I drove to or what train I got or whatever. But I delete the tasks. Once the tasks are done, they're done. So I don't think you can see this very well, but I've got in here, for tomorrow, I've got to drop some stuff to Helping Hands because I'm moving house. And so I've been sorting out the loft, and there's loads of Kiva baby stuff that, she's barely used, and there's all sorts of things. And so I've been slowly but surely taking everything to Helping Hands. So I've got some stuff in my boot that I need to drop to them tomorrow. And that's the kind of detail that I go into my planning of what are the things I need to do that will make me feel better once they're done. That's one of them. Drop it. But then once it's done, delete it. It's because it's done. So yeah, it's a strange. I guess it's like my to-do list. My calendar is not just my calendar; it's also my to-do list.
Whereas I have a little box at the bottom with a to-do list. I have to say, I'm not a fan of massive to-do lists.
No, it feels unmanageable then. I think,
and I think it's much better to do a ta-da list.
Yeah, and I think with the digital thing, that might be the bit that I'm missing. And we've talked about this before with some of the business. If you're in the Business Success Network, the gratitude challenge that you did, and I really enjoyed that. And I think it's because my diary doesn't allow for that sort of stuff. Although I get the satisfaction from deleting the task when it's done, there is an element of kind of looking back and not appreciating how much you've done.
I suppose that's the same as whether you're deleting it or whether you're ticking it off. Yeah. It's whatever works for you. Yeah. So.
But then also having that moment at the end of the day where you go, God, well done you. Like, look at all the things that you've fit in. The other thing I find as well is putting those tasks in there. Like today, I had to do quite a boring thing for Emerald, which was it's basically a finance sheet that I need to fill in for the money that the mobile networks are going to pay us. And it was a really small amount of money. I don't normally do it. And I really couldn't, I knew I couldn't be bothered, but it was like, I can't make other people do these things if I don't do them. Mm-hmm. So I put it in my diary specifically. I knew I'd be here this afternoon. I put it in my diary and it was there. We call it a deal sheet. It was an EE deal sheet. And it just kept looking at me. And I knew I needed to do it. And it was that reminder of like, just do it, Sarah. It's going to take you 10, 15 minutes max.
Have you ever read the book, Eat That Frog?
Yes. This is it, isn't it? It's those things that
available
you put
in
off.
Paper and on Kindle.
And digital. Paper and digital. But yeah, it's just having those reminders. The other thing I put on there, again, I don't think you can see, but I put LinkedIn updates. That comes back to your social media thing. Like, again, I don't always do it exactly at that time, but it's kind of a reminder of like, you might want to update LinkedIn because you haven't done it this week or whatever. It's that reminder to do that.
That's why I couldn't delete those tasks, because I'd want to see when was the last time I updated.
So I don't delete those. They stay in almost like the stones. I might flex them, I might move them, but they stay in as recurring reminders. So I do a lot of recurring stuff. So LinkedIn update is one of them. Kiva pickup is another. I have to do that every day. But the other thing I do actually on a Sunday night as well is I go through all my emails. And I just make sure that I've answered anything that might be urgent or I'm aware of it. Even if I haven't answered it or I don't know the answer, I'm aware of it. Because again, that might change my tasks. I just don't want to do that on a Friday. When I finish on a Friday, like I've finished.
It's the weekend.
It's the weekend, exactly. But on a Sunday, I get myself into work mode and I go, right, what have I missed? What might someone have emailed me about on Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock, because I finish at 3 for school pickup. So what might someone have emailed me about Friday at 5 o'clock that I need to do something with or I need to plan for the week or whatever. And I sometimes respond too, and this is a little trick that I know Anne-Marie Lambert wanted to know about delaying delivery. So again, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but I'm happy to go through this if people don't know about it. But what you can do is if you get an email, so you can write your email. And then if you go to options, if you've got Outlook, if you go to options at the top, and they will have this in other email, I don't know what email platform people use, but they will have it available in others. There's a delay delivery button. Again, I don't know how well you can see that. And you can have tick do not deliver before, and you can select a date and a time. So if you're doing all your work on a Sunday night, but you don't want people to know that you're doing work on a Sunday night, or you don't want people to respond, if you're sending it to your employees or colleagues and you think, God, I don't want them to look at this and think they have to respond to me, you can delay the delivery of it. So you don't have to send it at that particular point in time. And I use that quite a lot. I find that quite useful. Because the other thing as well, if you email loads of people on a Sunday...
Or at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning...
Yeah, I forget.
43 emails.
I work at weird
5 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
I work at weird time.
It was a lesson learnt though that maybe my phone. So look, people are liking this. It's not likeable. It was horrendous.
Exactly. She should know not to have her phone on.
40
And in her bedroom.
It was, and I've had lots of conversations about Wi-Fi in the night and stuff since. But yeah, my alarm is my phone. See, digital, not alarm clock.
Ah, see, I have a radio alarm clock.
Yeah,
I listen to Trisha Doo in the morning. I don't know if anyone else does.
Love
BBC Commentary Watcher. She is so good, so funny. She wakes me up every morning.
So I don't. My phone is on charge at the side of my bed, very close to my head, and also, you know, there is a husband to think about. So
yeah, I don't have that problem.
At 5 a.m. when there was 43 emails coming through, and I actually thought my iPhone was broken, and I've got this Mr. C, let's say, not in his usual happy self.
Oops. Sorry, I haven't done that since.
No,
I've done my
lesson
delayed
learned.
delivery.
It now comes through at 9 a.m. on a Monday.
Yeah, 9 a.m. on a Monday. Exactly. Not sure if we've got another question. Or is that just me? Oh yeah. Oh wow. We've missed all these exciting people.
Sean. Oh, Jenny's here. Hi, Jenny.
And Dave's going fight.
Sean Rose.
We must have been quite feisty at that point.
Do you just use the calendar on your phone, or is there a fancy technological one?
So I use Exchange, hosted Exchange, which is a Microsoft product, because that syncs it with my phone. What?
No, you carry on.
That syncs it with my phone. Has Dave said something controversial?
No. It's a lady called Sharon, who I know through Usborne. And she's just said, despite working in IT for about 20 years, I prefer my paper diary. And thanks to Stacey's planning hours on a Sunday, I'm getting much better at organising my time. I find if it's written down, it's not clogging up my brain.
I totally agree with that. And I think that's where getting those tasks out for me really helps, because then I sleep much better, because I know I haven't done them, but I know exactly when I am going to do them. Exactly. But going back to the diary, I use Exchange, but other products are available. Google Calendar will sync. Your iCloud calendar will sync depending on what platforms you use. So yeah,
and I get lots of emails from you saying, here's my digital thing, please accept my request, and I accept it and never use it. It's in my diary. And oops, forgot about this one, didn't get a notification.
Oh dear.
Technology
has let you down. If you'd written in your paper diary, we would know as well.
We would know, yeah. And Natasha's joined us as well. Hi, Tash. I have the ultimate diary planner.
Oh, we need to see it then. We'll need to see it.
Yeah.
And she uses her Outlook calendar.
And use Outlook calendar.
Karina uses her Outlook calendar as well.
Charlotte Cooper, I use the reminders option, so this might work for you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you very much. I will have a look at that.
I've started to use
Plutio
as well.
Something exciting.
And Burton, love watching You Can't. Hey, love watching You Can't, ladies.
You can't, ladies.
What can we not do?
I don't know.
Dave Sharp, timing to your emails to go out. Great tip.
Thank you, Dave. No problem.
Dave never sends me emails at 5 a.m. We're okay. Tarina, I forgot about delayed delivery because I don't want people to know I work Sundays.
Yeah.
Anita, going to use delayed delivery as I'm a late night worker.
Exactly.
Charlotte, is there a way of putting the phone so that it doesn't allow alerts at certain times? Or I have turned off
yes.
You can turn it to bed mode,
it depends. And do not disturb. So depending on your phone, yes, it will have a do not disturb. And
I still have paper, although I do use diary on my phone.
Or she means chat.
Thanks,
Tarina. She means chat. Loving us, watching us chat. Well, that's good, because we love chatting.
Anne was on Twitter earlier saying about stationery and cherish your diaries and stuff, so...
Ta-da!
Stationery.
There's the diary. So the other thing I wanted to show quickly, I'm conscious of time, and we're taking all your Wednesday evening up. 6:30. Gas for a whole half an hour. See, Gary's normally really good at making me stick to time.
Yeah, I'm not so much.
Not so good. We like a chat. That's the problem, isn't it? But Trello. Anita mentioned Trello, and I have to say I think Trello is a really good thing for those big goals. So what we've talked about our diary planning. We've talked about our task planning and fitting those things in that maybe you don't want to do but that you need to do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to some of those big goals that you've got, I think for me personally, having this Trello board, and lots of people will do it differently, but having this Trello board helps me to kind of keep focused on some of those big goals that you need to do something for almost every day, but you can forget. You can sort of put them off in the kind of day-to-day running of life. So I have, and this is where I think you can get creative. So I have lots of boards.
See, I did, when you kept sending me your stuff on Trello, and eventually I had to, sign up and read it, because otherwise I wasn't going to get it. I did. I spent, a week getting quite into it and creating lists, and that was probably about 9 months ago, and I don't
Not
think
used
I've
it
looked at
since. No, everyone likes their own, don't they? I think everyone finds a way of working.
It's funny because thinking about it now, if I logged in, actually, some of that stuff was probably pretty important, but it just wasn't on my...
Yeah. And so
it did go into the diary. Yeah. It wasn't all just lost and
I guess it's any of these things. It's how often you use it and how often you check it and how you make it kind of part of what you do every day.
In fact, it's just reminded me, because you've got here purple beta testers thing. That was when we used Trello, when we were setting that up, it was about 9 months ago.
Yeah,
so.
It would be. And that's it. So I use it for my own goals. So you see there's one with Sarah goals on there, and it's got, you can get creative. I've got a bird at the back, but that's a stock image. But you can do whatever you want if you want to make it a bit more exciting. But yeah, I've got all of my projects there. So I've got the beta testers group that we set up. I've got a buddies board, which I do with Denise Taylor. We're goal buddies at Fit for Business. So we use that and we share that with each other, what we're doing, keep ourselves accountable.
I like the social media schedule.
Social media schedule, again, that kind of thinking of what's going out, when, what content have we got, etc. But yeah, my goals just reminds me of where I'm at and what I need to do to kind of move some of these things forward. So like today, for example, I had a bit of time and I was like, right, I need to have a look at some of these. I was also having a coaching session.
She put me back 2 hours.
Yeah, so I knew I needed to look at some of this stuff. So
that's why you did it.
Oh yeah.
Here's me thinking, text message. She doesn't want a big gap in the middle. She wants to put me back.
She's
organising my time.
Genuinely, that was true. And actually,
what it meant was you needed 2 hours to
do
get
stuff.
Your
Actually,
stuff
though,
together.
Interestingly enough, I was in Coventry, and Coventry College had a bomb scare today while I was there. So they shut us all in the building.
Shot you?
No, shut us all in the building. But I was so impressed at how professional and quick they moved, and we didn't know what it was, obviously, but at the time. But in terms of, you can't go out for your own safety. Everyone, and you've got a lot of students as well. It was lunchtime, so it's just after 1.
You've just declared that live, so I'm hoping it is common knowledge. Otherwise, you've just told everybody about a bomb scare in Coventry.
Well, no, I think it was a false alarm.
Right.
Someone had said something or made.
Backtrack now.
No, yeah. God, sorry. Yeah, it's live on Facebook, but no. Well, that's what happened. I was there, as in the I don't think it was a legitimate. I think it was somebody who was making a threat. But as I say, like the professionalism of everybody in terms of how they reacted to that was amazing. To be fair, I can't be the only person. There are about 200 students there who have probably put it all over social media as well.
It's not the best place to keep it quiet.
No, exactly. But again, you've got all these people who are wanting to get out of a building at lunchtime, and the way that they just dealt with it was really good. Really, I'm really, obviously not a nice thing to deal with, but really impressed how they did that. But anyway, I've backtracked. Back to Trello. So one of the things I was doing today was looking at some of the things that I needed to do to finish off the year the way I want it finished off. And one of those was registering for some half marathon races for next year. So that, because I did 3 this year and I was really pleased with myself, having done my first last year. And so I want to make sure that I keep that momentum up. And that, again, that's a task that could easily slip through the net, and then before you know it, you find out that everybody
So you're not going for the full marathon yet?
I want to, yes.
Do you notice the way she changed that? Hopefully, that nearly came
I want to.
You're aiming.
Yeah, I'm aiming to. So so I've set. So today went through Trello and went, actually, there's a couple of things that I can do now, and I'm going to register for a couple of half marathons. So I think what I love Trello for. Thank you. What I love Trello for is keeping it on keeping you on track for those big goals.
Hello, ladies, great live top tips.
Thank you, Natasha.
Couldn't get on with Trello, but so that's just a kind of a different one.
So you're having a look at Plutio.
I'm cooking whilst listening.
Wow,
hey.
multitasking. But yeah, so I think that's it from me, really. I guess there are advantages and disadvantages to both ways of working, and I think you can. Certainly going back to Dave's point, the writing down of your thoughts and feelings in that sort of diary format, I do still like to do that in a written way. Although my blog does that a lot now, so I guess I use a bit of both from that point of view.
Brilliant. And I suppose the added bonus of being digital and not using one of these is that, and I can say this because Gary will tell you this, is I went to a meeting today with Gary to do some goal setting stuff, and I took some paper and I took my pencil case, and he was laughing because my pencil case is actually bigger than my handbag. It is here, but it's behind the thing, so I won't share it with you.
That's a huge pencil case.
No, it is actually. It's bigger than that.
Do you remember when you used to go back to school in September and used to get all excited about buying...
No. So this is... And the kids know they are not allowed.
Oh my. That's bigger than my makeup bag. That's huge.
That's okay.
So we've got a few points here. So Charlotte said, that is amazing. There's loads of highlighters in there as well. So Charlotte said what I also believe, which is that paper and digital can complement each other.
Totally agree.
I think it's about probably finding that balance for yourself.
Sorry, I'm just being silly now.
Because to me, what is that? I mean, that's huge. Like,
seriously, Stacey.
How much stationery?
I only brought it with me. This is normally what stays at home, but I brought it with me because I was doing 2 goal setting clients today. So I thought some like
Let's get colouring.
Well, some like to do mind maps and some like to be more, to the point. So I just brought it along. And I knew we were doing this as well, and I knew that people would
appreciate Stacey.
See, look, I have pencil case envy.
See, this...
But is it really bad that the kids have their own stationery? They have their own... This, they know. Do not touch Mummy's stationery.
Mummy's pencil case. Yeah, so that's where I think, as I was saying, you will pick that happy balance for yourself. That, to me, the size of that massive pencil case, is extreme stationery use.
Sarah Higgs, hello.
Hello.
Digital works better for me. She does actually. She does a lot of, like Trello and
yeah.
stuff.
But as Charlotte said, they complement each other. But as I say, I think that balance of the two will depend on you as a person and what
David Bamber, that's not a pencil case, that's a suitcase.
Isn't it? I swear to God, that is bigger than most of my handbags.
Yeah. But there is a pack of Sharpies in there. There is a pack of the Bic version because you stationery addict, you have to have both sets to compare. There is several sets of highlighters in there. It's not something I would carry around every day. Just depends.
So Dave made a point about the battery in his diary never runs out, which I totally accept.
What happens if you broke your charger or something?
But people also will leave their diaries places.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's my point of actually having it backed up. So if I lose my phone, which I may, that's a possibility, or my phone battery dies, I've got it on my iPad and I've got it on my laptop. So it's not like my whole life finishes. I do have backups. So I do agree with that. But then I would say, if you're thinking about what's the word? Business continuity and risk assessment, your diary is not backed up anywhere. So if you were to leave that on a train...
There's a nice little message in there that says, if this diary dares to roam, box its ears and send it home.
Oh, with your address?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
You don't? You think I'm awful, don't you?
Sharpie won't fit in there, will he? We'll squeeze him in.
Dave, this is your new home. Oh, dear.
But yeah, so I think we've probably
done.
Covered digital versus paper and come to the conclusion that both are equally good.
Such a cop-out.
So that way we don't have to fight on Facebook Live.
No.
Because no one wants that.
No,
but I think the important thing from both of us is about how important planning is. And certainly that has really helped me.
I could use it as a sleeping bag.
Yes. You could, Dave. You could totally fit in there.
Yeah, and that was I think that's a good thing to end on, actually, because it's what we started with, wasn't it? It's not necessarily what you use, it's what you find works for you, and just doing it.
Yeah,
Stop
definitely.
procrastinating.
Definitely. Yeah, and yeah. And if you want any tips on planning, as I say, Stacey is the queen of planning, so do have a chat with her. If you want any tips on how to use
See you
tech...
at Leamington Hour Drinks. Would like to speak to Sarah about Myton at some point.
Oh, okay. Ooh. No problem.
Sean Rose, digital is better. Sean Rose, when are you ever on digital?
I was going to say...
In fact, when do you ever plan?
Yeah, what planning Sean Rose does, I have no idea.
I offered him to come to goal setting the other day and he declined, so...
Oh, there you go.
Great chat, ladies, loved it. Wait, end the day. I got the planner.
To encourage me to plan, definitely.
So on that note, Sky Planner. On Sean's notes...
Thank you very much for listening. And yeah, my next Facebook Live is in January. Believe it or not, it's can't believe like the end of the year is here. It is actually, interestingly, about technology and how kind of best use of technology in terms of your self-care and and your behaviour. So things like
else we've talked
about, so things like not taking your phone to bed. You know, where are the technology boundaries that you might need to have? Things like not firing off that email, potentially picking up the phone and having a chat with someone. Yeah. So that's with Rachel Wade from Opt HR. So we're going to talk about
who's my HR expert for the Business Success Magazine.
There you go.
It's all linked.
There you go. So we're going to talk about technology and behaviour, and how you can kind of make the most of technology without letting it rule your life, which I think will be very useful for me.
Right.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye. I will press the button. Bye.